Hello, and today I will be giving you a short tour of the upper course of the River Conwy. Over here you can see the elevation plane. So as rivers go, we'll go from uphill to downhill through this course over here. So let's start at the source of the River Conwy. The source of the River Conwy is a lake called the Lyn Conwy, and the Lyn Conwy is a lake in the county of Conwy in northern Wales. Its surface elevation is 454 meters and has a maximum depth of 4.9 meters. It is the source of the River Conwy and is fed by a few other unnamed streams, which you should be able to see here, there, and a few more just around here. So let's move on to our first landform, a bit downstream, which are the rapids. So this first is showing you how rapids look like. Yeah, they look like these. And rapids are a collection of very short and fast falls. In and around rapids, water flows very quickly over the many rocks, boulders, and other obstructions that jut out of the surface of the river. Rapids are formed when the river flows over rocks that alternate in resistance, which means they're either soft rocks or they're hard rocks. Obviously, the rocks with less resistance, i.e. the soft rocks, will erode much quicker than the rocks with the higher resistance, which are the hard rocks, causing the soft rocks to be physically at a lower level than the other rocks. This process is known as differential erosion, and the result of all the softer rock eroding means that the sharper rocks will protrude from the stream bed and cause a more turbulent water flow because you could say the terrain would be uneven. So showing a picture of showing a diagram of how a rapid would work here. So here you can see soft rock, here is hard rock, and you can see that the hard rock protrudes more than the soft rock does, and this creates some sort of steps, you could say, like stairs, and yeah, this causes the water to flow much faster than usual. So on to our next landform, which is a bit downstream, and it is the meander. So let me just show you what a meander looks like first. This is a meander. So a meander is a geographical term for a bend in a river, and they primarily occur in the middle courses of most rivers. A meander can be birthed by any disturbance to the flow of the river. It can be a fallen tree or a boulder in the channel, basically anything that can make the river change course even slightly. Meanders are created through lateral sideways erosion. On the outside of the river bank, there is less friction, so sediment gets carried away. On the inside of the river bank, however, the flow is slower and the sediment gets deposited, which means placed, due to the higher amount of friction in the water. Well, here's a diagram explaining meanders. You can see on the outside of the river, erosion occurs, and on the inside there's deposition, so sediment would get stored here while the erosion would happen here, causing the bend to bend even more until it hits an obstruction and it can no longer bend. So, and the next one, which is right next to the meander, is a slip of slope. So a slip of slope looks like this, and a slippery slope is basically a river beach, as you can see over here. These ones here, 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 and they are slopes formed on the inner banks of rivers, and they are caused by the process of deposition. Sediment removed from the outer bank, which is the outer bank here, where the meanders are bend, are carried downstream by the flow and are then deposited on the inner bank. Deposition happens as the friction in between the inner bank and the water is greater than the friction in between the outer bank and the water. With deposition occurring in rapid succession, a slip of slope is formed. Well, so here is another diagram showing how a slip of slope is formed. Well, so this is the outer bank and this is the inner bank. So sediment would get carried from the outer bank of the stream and of the river and get placed in the inner bank. So it would flow from here and it would here, and it would just keep going on. So yeah, so this is how it looks like, just showing you again. And you could even see one in the picture of a meander that I showed you, which is right here. So as I was saying, it looks a bit like a beach. So one thing that you will notice as we're moving more downstream and more downhill is that there will be more towns and villages and settlements of people the more downstream we move. And yeah, so I covered most of the landforms in the upper course of the river Conwy, and this concludes our tour of the upper course of the river Conwy. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching.